You're gonna need a SCOBY. Very aesthetic SCOBY. We have our new SCOBY growing on top. It's super tiny. It's a little baby. Just to show you. Oh! There is another one right about here. I did a little bit of a taste test after a week and it was way too sweet. So it's about almost 2 weeks and we're gonna do another taste test. So let's get this ball on the road. That is not the saying. Oh, I spilled that everywhere. As you can see, it's not really the deep brown color, it's more of this lighter amber color. Our original SCOBY is on the bottom. That's totally fine. Like I said before, SCOBYs kind of do their own thing. So let's give this a whirl, shall we? It's still a little bit on the sweet side. I'm gonna give it just a couple more days and see if the sweetness kind of dissipates a little bit. I could probably use it and start bottling it, but it's just too sweet for my taste. I just want a little bit more bite to it, and I'll see you when we're doing that. I'm sharing some of my SCOBYs from my SCOBY hotel. You can see that I just disturbed all of them. I've got a little baggie here with 2 tiny ones in it, and I'm just gonna fill it with a little bit of starter liquid from here so that they're able to begin their new batch. I gave it 2 weeks for the process to happen. Now we're going to do a taste test. It's ready. Now what do we do? Okay, beautiful people, we are here for part 2 of kombucha, the bottling and the flavoring of kombucha. So what you're really gonna need for this one are these brown bottles. These have this kind of lid on top, which is really helpful because they suction in and then you just kind of snap that down and it's like an airtight seal. So we're gonna want, these usually come in about half a dozen. I've got 5 here because I don't think we're gonna have enough liquid for 6. But you want brown bottles because this will protect against sunlight, and I'll show you how I store these as well. So we have our kombucha, it's ready to be bottled. If you want plain kombucha, you can skip this whole process and you can start drinking it right now. The flavor that I am going for is going to be orange and ginger. So I have some orange juice and I have some fresh ginger. You want to be using like the freshest produce you could possibly get. And you want to use like the purest ingredients possible. Like for instance, this orange juice only has 1 ingredient and the ingredient is orange juice. Like there's no other added stuff, there's no preservatives, there's nothing else in here except for the juice of the orange. I'm going to start off by putting a 1/4 cup of orange juice inside every single one of these using a funnel. This is really going to be helpful. Because kombucha brewing is a continuous process, I'm going to start making the tea for the next batch. So that is what I'm going to do right now. Ginger. We are cutting the ginger. Mother! The flavoring of the kombucha is where you can really start to get creative. And there are so many flavors. I feel like there are like infinite flavor combinations. I really like the orange and ginger because it complements the tea really well. You just take a bunch and then you just drop it in. Alright, so we have our tea steeping. It looks like a very busy mess right here, but I promise once you get the hang of it, it is so simple. Like it might seem like I'm doing a lot with the bottling and the tea and the whole thing, but it's actually incredibly simple and easy once you get used to it. Trust me, if I can do it, you can do it. Alright, so the thing that you want to remember to do first and foremost before you do anything else Once you're ready to put the kombucha into the bottles, we need to take the SCOBYs out and enough starter liquid for our next batch. Also, I just want to point out, I preemptively put a towel down underneath everything so that if I spill, which is gonna happen, it'll be all good. My first batch took like 3 weeks or something to like finally start tasting like kombucha, and then once my SCOBY was strong enough, I was able to just keep going. With this one, it took about 2 weeks. It's the first batch of the summer. Now we're just gonna take the funnel that we were using to put the OJ in. We're gonna put it in here, and then we're gonna use, I find that it's easy to use like a little scooper like this. You don't need to like thoroughly wash it out every single time, because the only thing that's going in it is sweet tea. And like, yeah, you can go over it with a sponge, but I find that it's usually enough just to like, honestly, just rinse it. Remember, the sugar is not for you, it's for the SCOBY. Basically, a little tiny SCOBY will form in these. The only issue, not issue, but what is happening here is that you'll notice that in the kombucha vessel we cover it with cloth so that there can be a constant airstream in there. There's not going to be a constant airstream in here, so the SCOBY is still going to do its thing. And what's going to happen is when the SCOBY does its thing and like the ginger and the orange juice and everything starts like breaking down and interacting with the bacteria, there's not going to be any air that's going to be able to escape. So it's just going to try to get out, and then it's going to get pushed back down into the liquid, and that's what gives kombucha its carbonation. The only thing about the carbonation aspect is if it carbonates too much, this thing is going to explode and you'll get kombucha on your ceiling, you'll get glass all over your kitchen floor. 3 to 4 days of just having these just chilling in room temperature is enough to get it a pretty good carbonation. And I'll show you like the unbottling when we finally are able to drink it, because now we can't drink it for about 3 more days. But I promise you, the flavoring is so worth it. We are going to put them basically in the box that they were mailed to me in. I just kept this box, and I'm just gonna put them. So I keep my kombucha bottles in this little corner here. It's out of the way of everything. It's out of direct sunlight. Those are gonna be ready in about 3 days, so in 3 days I will come back to this video. And then the only thing left to do is start our new batch. So these I'm going to put in the fridge. That one we're going to taste. So putting kombucha in the fridge is going to calm down the carbonation a little bit. But right now we're going to pour some over ice. I'll show you how I drink mine, because there is a little bit to it, just because there's a lot of ginger and pulp in there, and also a little SCOBY from the second fermentation. So I usually take a little strainer, pour it through the strainer into a cup over ice. This is just my little strainer that I'm going to put right on top and pour it through. Got some ice. Now, for the big reveal. Not bad. It's definitely exploded before, and my phone is ringing. You can see how fizzy it is, though. That is the carbonation that is naturally occurring in kombucha. Anyway, cheers! If you're a fan of kombucha, make sure you like this video, comment below any flavors you think would be good in a kombucha so that I have some more ideas of what to make over the summer. Let me know if you've made your own kombucha, and make sure you subscribe and do all the things, hit the bell. Thanks for sticking around. Happy brewing. Go drink some kombucha. That is where it is at.